The favorite product question sounds like a gift. I watch senior PM candidates 8 to 10 years of experience turn it into a feature list with no structure, no metrics, no point of view. I've been asked this question twice in real interviews. Flipkart asked me for a software product and InMobiGlance asked me for a hardware product. Two different companies, two different categories. Today I'm walking you through what the interviewer is actually assessing, how to pick the right product before you walk in, the 4-part framework I use, and the full Netflix answer. This video focuses on the software product question. Next video, hardware, same framework, different muscle. Stay till the end because the improvement question is where most candidates lose the round. Hi, I'm Muthu. I've been a PM at Google, Flipkart, and other tech companies for over 12 years. This is PM Up Level, interview prep for senior level PM roles in India. Subscribe, one video a week, all coming from 12 years of experience interviewing and being interviewed for India PM roles. Before the framework, let's talk about what this question is actually testing. Most candidates think it's about product knowledge. It's not. It's actually 4 things at once. Number 1, product sense. Not what you like about it, but can you explain what the product does, who it's for, what problems it solves, and why it's successful? The interviewer is listening for reasoning, not opinions. Number 2, strategic thinking. Can you connect the product decisions to business outcomes? How does your product differentiate and stand out in the market? Does your improvement idea move a number the business cares about, or does it just sound interesting? Number 3, user empathy. Do you see the product through your user's eyes, including users who aren't you, or do you only experience it as a power user and assume everyone else does too? And number 4, energy and enthusiasm. This one surprises candidates. This is the one question in a PM interview where genuine excitement is a legitimate signal. If you pick a product you don't care about, the interviewer will feel it. Flat delivery, it just low curiosity. A senior PM who can't light up talking about a product they chose themselves, that's a flag. The flip side, don't perform enthusiasm, that's just as bad. Pick something you actually use, actually think about, and actually have opinions on, and the energy takes care of itself. Let's talk about how to choose your product. There is prep that happens before the interview. You need a short list, not one product, 3 or 4. Why? Because the interviewer might specify the category. Flipkart asked me for a software product, and mid-interview, based on my answer, the interviewer pushed back and asked me to walk through a second product from my list. InMobiGlance asked me for a hardware product. If you're prepared only one answer, you are improvising under pressure on a question that should be free marks. This video, I'll walk through the software answer, Netflix. Next video, a hardware product, the category InMobiGlance asked for. Same 4-part framework, different kind of thinking. So how do you pick the right product? There are 3 rules for picking the product. Number 1, something you genuinely use often. Authenticity comes through. If you're performing enthusiasm for a product you barely touch, the interviewer will sense it, especially when they probe, when did you last use it? It's a simple follow-up that exposes a prepared answer with no real experience behind it. Number 2, don't pick something that is very popular or overexposed, such as YouTube, WhatsApp, Google Maps. The interviewer has sat through these answers 50 times. You want something that makes them lean in, not zone out. Netflix is borderline popular, but the depth of what you can say about it more than compensates. Find such a product in your case. 3, something with visible room for improvement, because that question always follows sometimes in the same breath. If you pick a product that's near perfect or operating in a space with no obvious problems, you made the hardest part of the question harder for yourself. Pick something where you've already thought, I wonder why they haven't done X. And now the framework. Here is the 4-part framework to answer this question. Part 1, context. What the product is in one breath. Part 2, who's it for? Multiple sides of the market if they exist. Part 3, what problems it solves for all the different users. Part 4, why is it my favorite? This is where the real answer lives. One thing I'm deliberately leaving out of this framework, how I'd improve it, that's a separate question. Interviews usually ask it as a follow-up, sometimes in the same breath, but it's not part of the favorite product answer itself. Don't blend the two. I'll walk through it separately later in this video. Quick gut check against the 3 rules I laid out earlier. I use Netflix daily. It's borderline popular, but the depth of what I can talk about it more than compensates, and it has specific gaps I've already thought through, passes all 3. Let me walk you through my Netflix answer. Part 1, context. Make sure the interviewer understands the product before you give your personal take. Netflix is a video streaming platform for long-form content, movies, series, documentaries at high production quality. It makes money through subscription, so users pay a flat monthly fee for unlimited access. Its content is a mix of titles licensed from studios worldwide and originals produced in house. One sentence each on what the product is, how it makes money, and how it gets content. 30 seconds, and the interviewer is on the same page. Part 2. Who's it for? Two sets of users, not one. Viewers. Two distinct types. Power users. They know exactly what they want. They binge on content, they skip the intros, they watch content at 1.5x. Casual users, they're not sure what to watch. They need to be convinced before they comment. The product has to serve both sets of users without degrading the experience for the other. Studios, the supply side, the people making content, Netflix streams, most candidates forget this side exists. Part 3. What problems does it solve? For viewers, before streaming, accessing global content was genuinely painful. Torrents, hunting for a decent print, a separate subtitle file, and still broken quality or mistimed subtitles. Netflix made it one click, any title, high quality, subtitled and streamed. For studios, before streaming, there was one window after theatrical release, DVDs, a format nobody wanted to stock or ship. Most content had no viable life after cinema. Netflix made distribution near zero marginal cost and paid studios every time someone watched, not once per disc sold. Two sides, two real problems, one platform solving for both. Part 4. Why it's my favorite. Everything from here is the real answer. Impact. The impact is enabling an ecosystem. I mentioned two sets of users earlier and the studio problem a moment ago. Here's where it gets bigger. Today, hundreds of new studios produce specifically for OTT. Regional language, niche genre, short run series, content that would have never been funded now gets made because distribution economics work. Netflix didn't just build a product, it restructured an industry. And this isn't abstract, there are real examples. Squid Game, a Korean show made for domestic audience, becomes the most watched show in Netflix's history, a genuine global phenomenon. Stranger Things, a mid-budget, original bet that turned into one of the biggest franchises in entertainment. Neither happens without an economic model that funds swings like that and distributes them to every country on day one. That's a senior PM version of this answer. Not I like the UI, it's who does this create value for on both sides of the market and what did it unlock specifically for each of them. Great design. Every design decision traces back to the ecosystem thesis. Discovery stack, recommendation, auto-suggest, curated list, because a global catalog is only valuable if people can actually find what they want in it. Account separation, because in a mixed age household, polluted signals destroy the recommendation engine that discovery depends on. Device aware UI. Phone at 11 p.m. is a different job than TV on a Sunday afternoon. Netflix builds for both without degrading the quality for the other. None of this is decoration, it's infrastructure that enables the ecosystem above. Competition? Briefly, Netflix pioneered most of these important features. Profile separation, device-aware UI, and the competitors followed. But following on design isn't the same as catching up on substance. Competitors still lack in the one place that matters the most, discovery, because none of the catalog matters if people can't find what's in it. For example, Hotstar searches a simple keyword match, asks for horror comedy or noir thriller, and it has no idea what you mean because they haven't solved for semantic search. So anything beyond a simple search breaks search. Amazon Prime. It personalizes, but it's shallow. It'll recommend the same title in a different language and call that personalization instead of actually understanding what you want to watch next. And there's the smaller telling detail. Hover over a thumbnail on Netflix and it auto-plays a clip. Instant context before you commit to a click. Competitors have copied the big visible things. That detail still isn't implemented consistently across other OTT platforms. Netflix pioneered the category. On the part that decides whether people actually find something to watch, it's still well ahead. How it makes me feel. This is the layer most PMs skip, but it's what separates a product observation from product insight. For me, it shows up personally every day. I'm mostly a casual user who tips into power user mode on weekends, and Netflix meets me wherever I am. Bored, want to relax alone, with family, teaching my daughter using a story. There's a lane for all of it. I've discussed Korean thrillers, Thai dramas, Japanese slice of life, the same global catalog that Squid Game came out of, content I'd never have found otherwise. 20 minutes to spare, a short comedy. A long Sunday with family, a film everyone can watch. My daughter's bedtime, a story with a lesson, a different product for every contest without switching apps. And underneath all of that, when I discover something new, like a documentary about a culture I know nothing about, I feel genuine wonder. When a well-made film lands, there is real joy. And something else, I feel like a global citizen taking in the world's culture from my living room. That's not a feature, it's an identity the product creates for its users. The best products don't just solve problems, they make you feel something about yourself. Netflix does that. India framing at Flipkart, they want to know if you can articulate value creation, not just value experience. I use it every day is a fact. It makes me feel like a global citizen is a product insight. That's the difference. How would you improve Netflix? If the interviewer follows up, and they usually do, here's the structure I use. Every product improvement at a senior PM level follows the same steps: goal, opportunities, ideas for improvement, risks, and success metrics. And remember, prioritization and opportunities and ideas is critical. You're not listing everything and then ranking separately, you're ruling things out as you go. That'll be much clearer as I walk through the answer. Each step has a specific job. Let me walk through each one for Netflix. Goal. The first thing most candidates skip is the question before the question. What goal am I actually solving for? For Netflix, there are three real options: user growth, engagement, or monetization. User growth is already well penetrated, over 260 million subscribers across 190 plus countries, and the user base is sticky. People don't churn easily once they're in. Engagement is already high. By most analyst estimates, average viewing sits north of 2 hours per member per day. So growth and engagement both have limited headroom left. Monetization is the lever with the most real headroom. And here's something I'd actually do in the room. Say that out aloud and check with the interviewer. I'm going to focus on monetization since that's where the headroom is. Does that work, or would you rather I go deeper on engagement? That alignment matters. It shows you're solving for what they actually want and not running a prepared script. So let's assume monetization is the goal. Netflix's annual revenue is roughly $33 billion, and a 2x means getting to $67 billion. I want to name that number explicitly. At a senior PM level, this is exactly what the question is testing: business impact, not feature polish. A senior PM job isn't to add a feature, it's to move a business number. One more honest note: because I picked monetization, I'm setting aside engagement ideas today, recommendations and discovery, though I have a list there too. If that's what people want, comment below and I'll make that video next. Opportunities. What are the paths that could move that number? Two structural paths: grow the user base or grow what each user pays. And within growing what each user pays, revenue per user, there are three options: ads, more content, or other services. Now let me prioritize across these. I'd rule out user growth. Netflix is already penetrated. The password sharing crackdown was a real lever but a one-time one. The base is largely saturated. Doubling revenue of user growth alone isn't realistic. So the next lever is revenue per user. To double revenue with the same subscriber base, average revenue per user needs to roughly double from $10 a month to $21. And within revenue per user, let's talk about the opportunities. Ads. Netflix has already launched this, and the upside here is incremental, not 2x. More content. Every competitor is doing this. It's table stakes now, not a differentiator. That leaves the third: other services. Expanding the entertainment ecosystem Netflix already owns but hasn't monetized. Ideas for improvement. Digging into other services, the opportunity is entertainment ecosystem monetization. Netflix owns the content, the audience, and the IP, but outside the subscription, it monetizes almost none of that. There are three distinct revenue plays. Theater experience, event-based revenue. Netflix ties up with multiplex chains such as PVR or Inox in India, screens Korean films, classic reruns. Existing subscribers get priority booking. New revenue stream, new acquisition channel, same content library, no new content spent. Merchandise. Product commerce tied to intellectual property. A viewer watching a show, seeing a character wear something, is already in a purchase mindset. No competitor has connected that demand signal to a buy button. Not Hotstar, not even Amazon Prime, which sits inside the world's largest e-commerce platform and still hasn't bridged the two. That gap isn't a feature idea. It's a structural moat if Netflix gets there first. Regional studio partnerships. B2B licensing revenue. Deeper co-production deals where Netflix funds regional content in exchange for first window rights and licensing control. More exclusive content, deeper geographic moats, recurring deal flow. Let's prioritize these ideas. Of the three, merchandise wins. At full penetration with an owned commerce stack, merchandise delivers $7 to $12 incremental revenue per user. That closes most of the $10 to $21 gap. This is a back of the envelope estimate. I'll do a separate video on how to build these in an interview. The merchandising idea is the highest ROI, most scalable, no new content, no studio acquisition, no theater logistics required. And critically, I wouldn't build an in-house e-commerce stack on day one. That's the trap. The P0 is affiliate marketing in 2 or 3 key markets, such as India, US, or Brazil. Partner with Amazon, Myntra, or Flipkart. A user taps a product on screen, gets routed to the affiliate listing. Netflix earns a commission. No inventory, no logistics, no payment infrastructure. Prove the conversion signal first. So here's a brief roadmap. P0, 0 to 3 months affiliate links on the top 5 shows in those 3 markets. P1, 3 to 9 months in-app product catalog embedded in the player, still affiliate, tighter UX. P2, 9 to 18 months in-house e-commerce for flagship IPs only, if P0 and P1 conversion data justifies owning the stack. Risks. Watch time cannibalization. If users start browsing products instead of watching, we have damaged the core product. Brand dilution. Low quality merchandise damages the IP, so not every product makes it through. Netflix controls what gets shown. Margin compression. Affiliate only earns 3 to 8% commission. So it proves the signal but doesn't move revenue per user at scale on its own. The economics only really work once Netflix owns the stack. Success metrics. North Star is conversion rate, the percentage of viewers who see a product on the screen and complete a purchase. Guardrail is average watch time per session. If that drops as commerce rolls out, the feature is failing regardless of what conversions is. So, putting it all together, goal 2x revenue, monetization is the lever. Opportunities, user growth or revenue per user. Within revenue per user, 3 sub levers, other services wins. Ideas for improvement, there are 3 plays, merchandising wins with a phased roadmap. Risks and metrics, watch time is the guardrail throughout. Don't win the business metric by losing the product. Flipkart framing, they think in monetization models, reasoning from a goal to an opportunity space to a prioritized lever to specific ideas ranked by ROI with a phased roadmap and risk named. That's the level of thinking they're looking for. To close, here's what the debrief sounds like at Flipkart. It's not did they pick the right product, it's did this person have a point of view? Did they explain design decisions, not just list features? Did their improvement solve a problem or name a feature? Finally, to summarize the answer to the favorite product question, there are 4 parts. Context, who's it for? What problems it solves? Why is it my favorite product? The impact, the design that it follows, how it stacks against competition, and how it makes you feel. And separately, only if asked, one improvement reason end-to-end with a business goal and a metric. Any product, any company, same structure. If you're preparing for Flipkart, PhonePe, Swiggy or Meesho, this question is almost always in the loop. Know your answer cold before you walk in. Drop a comment with which company you're targeting. I'll tell you what to expect in that interview loop. Subscribe to PM Up Level, 1 video a week, senior PM prep with India focus.